What would you say are the top 3 risks and weaknesses and challenges of using private permission processes?
I think part of the big benefit to having a distributed ledger is the fact that you didn't want to have to trust anyone. But even within a private permissioned network, what you would want to do is you'd want to ask, well, do we even need this to be a distributed ledger? If we trust, can we trust one person to record all the transactions and that we can all access it, but does it have to be that we all have to validate and keep copies ourselves? So that'd be one question, is if you're keeping a private distributed ledger, does it still need to be distributed? And the second is, well, what was the purpose of doing this? Because having a distributed ledger and anything blockchain-based at all does slow things down. So then the question is, well, could you have just trusted an intermediary at all and not do any sort of distributed ledger? Because that's the reason we had centralized financial intermediaries in the first place. It's slow for all of us to keep a copy of all transaction records on all of our computers. It's nice if we can trust one person in the middle who's going to record everything. So before having even a private distributed ledger, I'd ask, do we need that at all? Could we just have one centralized, trusted party who's going to keep all of that?
There are applications that need that. If you're driving, so if you're in a car which has got sensors in it, and you're driving on the freeway, you don't want someone else to come into your network. So you do want your own ledger. You want your own blockchain ledger to authenticate your sensors.
So this is an Internet of Things.
Especially Internet of Things.
Yes, I haven't. That would be different. I don't know that that's a private permissioned network. That could still be on a public distributed ledger, but it could be that depending on the type of M2M transactions need to be validated somehow, and you have to validate that there was permission between that M2M, but that could still be recorded on a distributed permissionless ledger.
You cannot have a distributed, centralized system. It has to be, it has to be decentralized.
Yes, that's what a distributed, yes. And for Internet of Things, those are the ones that are being built right now, like IOTA. Those are still on a distributed ledger, but something within that protocol is going to understand whether or not that M2M connection is a valid one.
So every car will have to have its own ledger. You can't have a common,
Possibly.
That's the only way you can authenticate.
I don't know how it would work. I don't know that they each have to have their own ledger, but possibly.
It's on the road, it's moving, it doesn't have access to any server.
Okay, so with that, let's give a big hand.